cared for the earth since the beginning of time. We are the stewards, the caretakers, the keepers of the land, air, and water. We are the indigenous people of the world, and we are using our traditional ways and science to protect Mother Earth. I'm Steve Sweethel, and welcome to Down to Earth. Today on our show, we're heading to the Sauk First Nation, where they've created a model green community. And later on the show, we'll meet Cheryl Bryce. Now, she's a leader in the revival of traditional plants and foods. It's early autumn in Coast Salish territory. The Pacific Ocean and coastal rainforest are a stunning backdrop for this community of 200 people. There's a faint scent of cedar smoke in the air that holds the promise of a salmon feast later in the day. We've traveled to Sauk to find out if the rumors are true. Can this really be the greenest town in all of Canada?
These solar panels heat our hot water.
These solar panels make the Sauk Reserve off the grid.
Sauk Solar Community is the most intensive solar community in Canada.
So this is Sauk, and the proper pronunciation again?
Sauk.
Sauk. Seems very peaceful and calm.
We're lucky, it's beautiful here. We had the community come together and tell us what their visions were from those meetings in the community. One of the main things were sustainable energy, reducing our footprint, reviving our culture, using the land to feed the people.
The days are getting shorter, but the Sauk First Nation are ready for the cooler weather. With solar energy panels on nearly every roof, a greenhouse that provides residents with fresh vegetables year-round, and a commitment to a sustainable way of life, this is a community with a remarkable vision.
Well, Chief, you have a really interesting community here. You've got people reducing, recycling, practicing household conservation. You've got solar. So how did this movement start?
With our people coming together as one, vision and progress meetings we called them, and our people get together and have a meal and discuss the future. What's best for us, what's best for our elders, our children, and our great-great-great-great-grandchildren.
Was it hard to get people on board, or was it an easy sell?
It was a very easy sell. Everyone's on board. Everyone has that same goal. It's good because we're all working together. What's the most important thing to us? And saying that it's simple and it's easy, and that's the way you have to look at it in a simple way, and that is taking care of Mother Earth. All First Nations think the same way.
So what are these panels on this building here, Linda?
These are the panels that I mentioned that are still connected to the grid. These are on our main administration buildings, and the paneling there is for the hot water heater, and it also has etched into it our logo for the Solar Energy Project by Mark Gotti, one of our members, and the border is done by another artist in our community, Darlene George.
So this is a sample of some of the hot water solar. Is that what these ones are?
Yeah, these are for the solar hot water installations that were put on our homes, and in the end there was 37 homes installed with the hot water.
That's 37 so far.
Ultimately, we would love to have one on every home that we have on the reserve, yes. For those who wish to have it, that's our goal.
Hey, Solar Joe.
Hello, Art.
Heard all about you.
Welcome to the roof.
Trainer, trainee, you're Angie?
Yes.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Art. Demystify the solar panel for me. I'm a layman and I don't know anything. How would you do?
Sure. This is the last of the solar systems that we installed here in the Sauk community. We have a solar collector up here on the roof. This particular one it's set right into the roof, just like a skylight. We have a glass cover over top of a black surface, and as the sun hits the black surface, it heats up, and then the pipes below, we pump water through it to take the heat away, and that goes down to the solar tank where it charges the solar tank.
What about some of the other bigger panels I see over there?
So those are solar electric panels as compared to solar heating panels, and they're very different technology. But the solar heating panels are just produce hot water, just add heat to a hot water tank, whereas the solar electric ones generate electricity that can either get stored in batteries or get fed into the grid for other houses to use. We had 9 students that went through the training program and learned all about how to install them, and in the end we installed the first round of 25. We installed 25 with them side by side, and then the 26th system on the band hall, we just gave them the components, and then the trainees went and installed it all themselves.
Is this process something you'd recommend to other communities?
At first it's like a job, and then after you realize that it's part of the future.
Everyone on the Sauk Nation has a role to play in building an eco-friendly community, as Art finds out from the youth who are trained to install solar energy water heaters.
Tyler, you said you could walk us through the system. Can you explain this contraption here?
Well, certainly. The tank itself, with the solar panel, it's a closed system. So inside the tank there's a coil of pipes, and the water goes through that, and it's pumped up by this pump here, and it goes up the pipeline, and it goes up to the panel. The panel absorbs the heat from the sun, and then the water, it actually drains back down afterwards to this drain back tank right here.
Today is a nice, cloudy, rainy, typical fall Sauk day. How does that affect it when you have less sunlight?
The system won't produce as much hot water during a dark day like this, but in that case, it would just kick back to the natural electric setting. Then next time the sun's out, you'd be producing hot water again. In a sense, it's really a sort of an addition to lower your electric bill towards that, because the point of the tank is that when the hot water is being heated by the sun, it's then transferred to the electric tank, and the tank says, hey, the water's already hot, I don't have to turn on my electric coil.
So Mark, what exactly am I signing here?
Well, what you're signing up for right now is the Sauk Nation Smart Energy Group's challenge. And exactly what our challenge is for people to reduce their energy consumption by 10%.
All right. You can check on me if you want, and I'll hold my end.
We will be checking on you.
The things we do today, you could see the effect, but it's going to be our kids that are going to make the hard decisions that have to happen to keep us sustainable in the future.
Would you say you're preparing to become self-sufficient someday?
Yes, and in saying that it's not just the solar, it's the connection to our traditional territory. It's having clean water up Chuckstallow, our big river of Sauk, and having a healthy environment with the animals, you know, that the bear and the cougar and the deer in our traditional territory, and also our medicines and our old way of life of our cedar that's so paramount to us, and our weaving and our canoes, and to be able to keep all that intact, you need a healthy environment.